Dun, 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 dun. Things are getting extremely creepy. Can we handle it? Let us see. Things are getting creepy. It's time for your extreme terrors. Dun, 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 dun. How can you take it? It's getting more extreme. Extreme terrors. Extreme terrors. Hey, Bryce, head of Extreme Action Studio here. I may or may not be being held captive by Bones while he takes care of something. So I'm doing this episode of Extreme Terrors. And why would have me do the penultimate episode of the series, since the next episode is the finale. Be me telling the story, but he gave me the story, and he's may or may not be holding me hostage. A bunch of guns and swords and spikes beneath me, because I'm pretty much sitting in a chair that's hanging down. Like, pretty much if I were to step off or try to get off out of the chair, I'll fall to a pit of spikes. There may not be some guns everywhere, but yeah, I'm handling this episode. He gave me the story to tell you guys, and he tells me he usually does it comedically, but he'll be nice to me for once and actually let me tell it the way I want to tell it, as long as I actually tell the story. I may or may not be scared. On with the story. He told me the story is called Dracula versus the Gargoyle of Notre Dame. From what he told me, that creature died, so I don't know how that's happening. And also, Dracula, hold on. Okay, I guess on with the story. Okay, let's see what story Bones has this time. Okay, like I said, it's called Dracula versus the Gargoyle of Notre Dame. Okay. We begin with Jacob. No, hear from Bones asking, why does this kid keep showing up in my stories? Okay, I guess he keeps showing up, I guess. In the Iron Strike armor, having upgraded it with a new color scheme of green, him being the primary color, with silver accents including on the faceplate, the lower jaw of the armor being all green, the faceplate itself sort of resembling the Iron Man faceplate. A little Dragon Ball Z style scanner over its eye, as well as a little microphone put over where the mouth would be. Weaponry put all along it. This time around, things seem to be getting less and less realistic and more animated. Yeah, I actually mentioned this before with the style guide. He apparently Bones left a note that these are no longer supposed to actually be imagined looking like in real life. They're supposed to look animated like the other stuff. So, yeah, okay, I guess. So, I guess take this as, I don't know, realistic animation again. Again, like, think of it similar to what Operation X is supposed to look like in my head. So just keep that in mind for your little style guide I gave you well before. But him and Frankenstein's monster go to Dracula's castle to find him. And Jake says, "Okay, Frankenstein, this is where I need to go to find Dracula, correct?" "Yes, it is. Now me call myself Frankenstein after my creator. I remember hearing legends of this Dracula, and I think I've encountered him before, but me not quite sure." Well, looking at the scratch marks, I'm going to say he's evolved a bit beyond the stereotypical Dracula. "Indeed I have," said Dracula, scaring Frankenstein and thanks to the advanced strength given to Jake by the armor, he was able to catch Frankenstein as he jumped in the air and is able to properly lift him up and then put him down. Dracula has evolved, his teeth now all being sharp and practically merging up with his lips. He's in a dark cloaks with torn up clothes, but is clearly less bloodthirsty in a way. "If you were wondering, I'm not going to drink any of your blood. I found a scientific method that allows me to create fake synthetic blood that would allow me to feed on it and be able to survive without having to feed upon human flesh and blood. But I have a problem that I need you both to help me solve." "And what would that be?" Jake said. "You see, the gargoyle of Notre Dame has invaded my castle." "That's weird. I thought he got his head crushed." "He did, but it regenerated. And now he's starting to act more like a dragon. He's evolving. I predict that by the year of 2070, he will have fully evolved into a dragon. A humanoid dragon. But its intelligence does seem to be growing, so I believe we might be able to redeem it. I'm a scientist at heart, and if you help me, I'll help you to defeat Bones the Skeleton, the one manipulating the situation. He's the one who unleashed the darkness upon the world many, many years ago, in an attempt to add some entertainment to his life. Yeah, I figured that on my own by looking at ancient scrolls and texturing. I'm only 17, and Lily, I'm wearing like a black t-shirt with like a green hoodie jacket underneath his armor, but I could tell something ain't right. Oh, you could say that again, considering the fact that I'm having to list off the story about you while I'm being held hostage by the very same skeleton. But actually, no, Bones is totally not a limb captain. Just let me do this episode. Please help me, please. Anyway, so Dracula shows them to where the gargoyle is. The gargoyle is feeding upon Dracula's son. He's been eating my whole family. Well then, Frankenstein, you're the kind-hearted one. You take care of it. Of course. Gargoyle Notre Dame, please do not kill Achilles' bud. Why should I care? I was killed. I've been regaining my sanity. Or, I guess, gaining sanity. Intelligence. My breath almost has a heat to it. I am evolving to a vampire. That's what you're evolving to. Trust me. The bloodshed will not heal your pain, gargoyle. So the mighty Dracula takes the side of the humans. I'll take their side, then constantly have to end lives that are unnecessary to lose. He says, as Dracula himself begins to evolve in a way, becoming more human. Because as it turns out, he has been casting a spell to allow himself to become partially human. It won't really turn him into a human, but rather make him a hybrid of a human and vampire, and make it to where he no longer has to fear the sunlight. But it still requires blood, therefore we'll still need the synthetic stuff. Listen, we don't have to fight. Too late! The gargoyle grabbed onto Dracula and began to fight with him. Dracula turned into a bunch of bats and started eating the flesh of the gargoyle. Frankenstein used electricity. He charged up through his fist to shock the gargoyle, giving Dracula enough time to reform himself and pin the gargoyle to the wall. He begins to beat down and fight against the gargoyle. Well, he manages to tear off the gargoyle's wings, but they quickly regrow bigger, now resembling more of a dragon wings, as the gargoyle Notre Dame releases full flames from his mouth. I am turning into a dragon! Indeed you are. If you were to help us, I can train you and allow yourself to evolve. Allow yourself to fight for humanity and see the good in them. Okay. But don't consider us friends. Even if we're on the same side, I will still haunt you. And I will never, ever be friends with the likes of you. Fine by me. And by the way, I predict that by 2070, superheroes will be quite common. If you want to truly fight for humanity by then, and if my calculations are right, you'll be evolved to a full dragon by then, or at least a humanoid one. Here's a name for you. Dragon Wing. I like it. Thank you for this. And Iron Strike. Yes, I heard you outside. I will also aid you in taking down Bones the Skeleton. And so they were off for the final battle against me. Yeah, that's a note from Bones. He's released as me, so I'm guessing he's aware of this final fight about to happen. Well, guess that's the end of the story, and thank you for listening, I guess. I'm thoroughly horrified. And hopefully Bones will be destroyed. Please help me. Please help me. Wait. Is that him? Oh, Bryce! Have you been telling my story? Of course, Bones. Of course. Help me. Oh, there's no hope for you. Help, help, help. There is no such thing as help. Don't worry, I won't kill you, but I will torture you. Help me, help me, help me, help me.